need an Uncle Stubby Slinker Ammo and Tackle? Then you ain't at Uncle Stubby Slinker Ammo and Tackle. We're located off FM 1066, just past the Throckmorton Memorial Landfill. Uncle Stubby's, we're gonna save you money. Hablamos español.
Before history was history, fools were we. Then we climbed a tree and finally we could see. Lo, then the internet made us smart, now know everything do we. Thus we share with thee these trifleries, till nobody learns a thing.
Well, welcome back to Bottom of the Barrel, everyone. I'm Jay Hickman.
Hey, Jay. I'm Kyle Jones.
Hey, Kyle. I'm John Swayze.
Hey.
Oh, wow. Hey there, John Swayze. So, this episode, we're going to call, So, How's That Weather We've Been Having? Never.
Whoa, okay.
It's inspired by a plane flight I had recently, a few months ago. The flight was delayed by several hours because of weather.
Yeah.
And we were finally let on the plane a couple hours after scheduled departure time. And we sat on the tarmac for more time. And the pilot said, ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting for a few lightning cells to pass by. And then we're going to take off, heading for parts unknown. And so we waited and waited, and no one explained what a lightning cell is exactly, or how many there were, or how frequent they occur. So we were just waiting, and at one point the pilot said, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick update. We are on hold waiting for the tower to give us the all clear after lightning cell passes. So stand by. And then 5 minutes later, ladies and gentlemen, quick update. The tower did give us an all clear.
Yay.
So we were headed to the gate, and then 2 minutes later, they stopped us. There's not a lightning cell. And they're like, well, thanks for that update, Captain McGillicutty. So we finally took off. The weather was horrible. The ascent to cruising altitude was super turbulent and awful. And so we finally got to our destination like super late. I was in the very back row. So upon exiting the plane, the captain, co-pilot, and a head stewardess was standing there.
Flight attendant Jay Hickman. Flight attendant.
The purser,
Flight attendants,
actually.
make no mistake.
How dare me.
She was the purser. And they were like, all right, bye, take care. Don't take any wooden nickels. All right, drive safe, stay warm.
It's good advice.
And so I decided, since I was the last person, I wasn't holding anyone up. I was like, by the way, I was curious, given tonight's circumstance, what sort of a threat is lightning to a plane exactly? Like, is there some history there?
Okay, yeah, that's scary.
Is it a frequent problem that?
Because they're up there.
Yeah,
they're in the mess.
I said, my limited understanding of lightning is the electric charge is forming in the cloud and it wants to discharge, and it goes down to the earth
ground,
to do that. And so if an airplane passing underneath is like attractive to the lightning, it's not going to stop at the plane.
You mean like if it's wearing lipstick and some garters?
Yeah. Flight attendant, Kyle. Flight attendant.
I think we lost John already.
No, I'm here. I'm apparently my studio audience is having their own show.
You lost him at airplane.
John's been asleep for 5 minutes.
I'm with you. No. All right, Jay. I'm sorry. I'm with you on the airplane story, my friend. I'm with you.
Thank you. So I'm like, would lightning stop at an airplane, or it wants to keep going? Like, would it pass through the airplane to get to the ground? Because it really wants to get to the ground. So lightning travels from the cloud to the ground. Like that's everyone. And the pilot's like, actually, it's from the ground to the clouds. But that's a whole nother story. And I was like,
did you punch him in the face?
I nearly did.
Okay.
And then he said, like, No, like what are you talking about? Why do I entrust my life to you?
I've heard that before.
I had never heard that, and I thought he was insane. So long after, I did some research on how the lightning forms, and he was sort of right.
Oh, okay. McGillicutty.
Yeah.
Man.
Like, that's the most dangerous kind of lie, the one that's based on partial truth.
His name being Pilot McGillicutty.
Back up a little bit. Who was lying?
The pilot.
Everybody's lying.
The pilot was lying to you all about the lightning strikes on the plane.
No one.
Yeah, the pilot was like, actually, lightning goes from the ground to the clouds. Not from the cloud to the clouds to the ground. I'm like, you're full of shit. Anyway. Well, the truth is somewhere in between.
Hey.
I just said it in the middle. Just for the record.
Can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
So
middle of the road, baby.
I learned a lot about lightning, which I'll explain to you. But just as a quick denouement to the airline story, I was like, so why did we have to wait for all the lightning cells? Like, how much is a threat is it? Do planes get struck by lightning all the time? He's like, nah, not really. Usually the worst thing that would happen is it would pass through the plane to get to the ground, but we wouldn't barely notice it. Like, the worst that would happen would be like a pinhole.
Yeah, but what if someone's sitting there?
Like, what if somebody's sitting in
your
like
whole
a
body?
What if somebody's sitting in like
significant to
an
me.
old-time braces, just wire mechanism in their mouth? I mean, that would transduce the electricity. I'm thinking.
Yeah, but I mean, the fuselage is made of metal,
right?
So it's just going to traverse the outside of the fuselage to
it's actually made of aluminum.
I don't think it's going to come. It's not going to. Yeah, which conducts electricity,
I guess.
Does aluminum conduct electricity?
Google. Does aluminum conduct electricity?
I'm on your Wi-Fi, and I don't have your. I would look it up, but I just realized I can't access Google right now.
No,
that's hilarious.
My computer and my phone are
tell the listening audience your password for your Wi-Fi for me.
My crack team is on it. They'll do it quietly.
Yes. Okay.
And then we'll let Jay continue, and then we'll at the appropriate time we'll let you know.
Okay. So he was like, at worst, there would be a tiny pinhole in the something dome. Like, he said a word, I didn't have any idea what he was talking about.
Thunderdome?
Maybe in the Thunderdome of the plane.
Yeah.
Is that a well-known avionics term? And so I was like, okay,
Tina
cool
Turner's
story. So
awesome in that movie.
We didn't need to wait for 2 hours then. We could just chance it and
maybe fly through all the lightning and we'll be fine.
And maybe the little girl with the headgear would get a little jolt, but other than that, like, no big deal. But that inspired this research project. Like, so I wanted to obviously prove the pilot wrong, so I could write an angry letter to the airline and be like, your pilot is a liar, big fat liar.
Lying McGillicutties. Mama warned me about them McGillicutties.
Lying McGillicutties. So in my research of lightning, just fascinating stuff.
Oh, good.
Incroyable. So just for a quick Mr. Science summary of how lightning works is, you got in your storm clouds, you've got your water droplets, your moisture, because it's going to rain, see? And then you've also got above the clouds some ice crystals where it's high enough to be freezing no matter what time of year. And so when the clouds are getting ready to start condensating and raining, all of the moisture particles are colliding with ice particles, and the collisions cause static electricity. And so a charge builds up in the clouds. So there's positive charge and negative charge. On the underside, the lower portion of the cloud is the negative charge, and then the positive charge migrates to the top of the cloud.
Okay. And this doesn't matter how big the cloud is or anything?
It does. Apparently, taller clouds will generate more electric charge.
That's where
would that be your like cumulus?
Yes, they are cumulonimbus clouds. Those are the thunder clouds.
Yes.
So if the cloud is thin enough that it's not going to make rain, like it's got to be thick enough to have enough moisture to start raining on.
Yeah, nobody wants a thin little puny cloud. They want the big, thick, veiny ones.
Right. Knobby.
Rainy, excuse me.
Yeah, dude, you've never seen, I mean, rain does not come from thin clouds. There's no way.
It certainly
The
doesn't.
cirrus,
And so lightning
Sirius
also,
or whatever they're called. There's no way.
Cirrus.
There's the humorous clouds and the serious clouds. Personally,
I believe it's pronounced humulus. So if the cloud is thick enough to produce rain, it can produce lightning, and the taller it is, the more lightning. But so the underside of the cloud is negatively charged, and the Earth is positively charged. So that negative charge wants to come down to the Earth and connect and make the lightning bolt. That's what they want more than anything.
So the Earth is positively charged.
Yes.
I always thought we were
is the Earth always
the non-charged. The ground I always figured was.
Kyle, John has a question.
Oh, John Swayze in the back there.
That's okay. I mean, I didn't want to interrupt Kyle, but now that I can, I will.
You should.
Is the ground is the Earth? The ground is that always positively charged?
No, it like the clouds, it has patches of positive and negative.
So it's when those kind of things like the clouds floating above end up going, hey, whoa, there's one right there. That's where they connect, right?
So lightning can go from cloud to cloud.
Yes.
Lightning can stay within a cloud. You've seen heat lightning on a hot Houston summer day. And so that's just when the positive charge of the cloud at the top is connecting to the negative charge. So it just has a bolt of lightning through the cloud, and that's it. It's boring.
Lame.
And then there's obviously cloud to airplane lightning, which is the most common kind of lightning there is.
Really?
No, I made that up.
Okay. Sounded very McGillicutty.
It's super McGillicutty. So typically, the lightning is negative part of the cloud to positive part of the Earth. And so it sends down a bunch of feelers. This is all at speed of light.
Yeah, the speed of light, right.
It's not quite the speed of light, but it's very fast.
Speed of lightning.
You said it's sending
lightning.
out feelers? Like,
yeah.
I'm sending out as many little fingers of negative shit as I can.
Electricity.
So
and I'm
they're trying to find
hope one of them connects with the positive of the Earth.
Almost exactly. I think they're looking for the fastest route to get down there and discharge.
Right.
So they send a bunch of feelers, and you have to look at.
It's like sperm.
It is a lot like sperm.
I mean, it's like you're sending out 1,000 million sperm. One of them's going to connect.
Wow. Jim Contour was right.
You see, John, when a cloud really loves a planet. So there's all these feelers, and you have to, and it's easy to do these days, watch some slow-mo footage of lightning strike. You can see all the little feelers go down, and then the lucky sperm that reaches the egg.
The lucky
as it is approaching
electrical.
Keep talking.
As it reaches the ground, this part's gonna blow your mind.
Whoa.
As this feeler nearly reaches the ground, the positive charge starts heading up from the Earth. So
McGillicutty!
So what you're saying is, keep with our ovarian analogy, the eggs are actually now leaping up to the sperm.
Yeah.
Which tells you that,
No.
male dominance, sperm rule the world.
Anyway,
people. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so it's the patriarchy at work again. So there's a positive spark that comes from the Earth, and apparently
it only takes a spark to get a fire going.
A bolt of to get a bolt of lightning. Come on,
what?
Man.
That's not how we sang it.
If you watch the slow-mo footage, you'll see a tiny arc of lightning that comes from the Earth to meet the feeler. And I, based on some of the research I did, it's like 100 feet in the air or 100 meters in the air. Like the positive charge will go that far to meet the feeler. And then once it meets the feeler, like that's the lucky feeler. Let's say that 5 times fast. And they create the connection, and then the real bolt of lightning happens.
Goes through
after
that
those two. Yes.
Whoa.
And so
that's just to clarify, that is from the cloud to Earth. That connection happens.
Well, they meet in the middle, John Swayze.
Not
right.
in the middle.
At 100 feet off the ground.
But I'm just saying,
cloud's a mile or 2 miles up.
Yeah.
We're talking about. I have a question. An ancillary question I'd like to ask you about this but what I'm making sure is I understand, you're talking about that bolt that comes down and the reception that comes up and meets. And that is that thunderbolt that we see hit the earth, as it were.
After they meet is the thunderbolt. So once they meet, they're like the leader, the little feeler is actually called a leader stroke. And once it meets the positive charge from Earth 100 feet in the air, they're like, this is it.
Yeah.
That's
like,
the orgasm.
This is where we
release.
Yeah. Like, this is where we can discharge.
Yeah.
And so that's produces the bolt of lightning all in, at
the
fraction of a second.
Fraction of a second.
Speed of lightning.
So my question is this. What about when you see, usually it's a very impressive thundercloud, very dark and very ominous. And it does one of those, it bursts forth electricity that it does send one down, but it also sends out this amazing burst from side to side that never seems to connect with anything.
That's true. There is lightning that doesn't hit the ground. So what's happening there?
That is
McGillicutty.
McGillicutty once again.
Riddle me this, McGillicutty.
That is what they call cloud to air lightning. Isn't that silly? So it's just wherever the cloud can find opposite charge to discharge, it will. Sometimes in a pocket of air, it'll find the charge, and that's enough for it. Or sometimes it's another cloud. Sometimes, most commonly, it's the Earth.
Oh, yeah. And so, all right. Most commonly, it's the Earth.
Yeah, that we know of.
Okay. But so it's more common to have ground to Earth. I mean, cloud to Earth or cloud to air.
I think more common to Earth.
Okay.
Because that's got the strongest charge. The Earth has the strongest positive charge. So if it's worth it to the cloud to travel that distance, it's most satisfying. For the
So let's say you got this cloud and it is building up all this static energy. The charge is building and blam, it hits it. Does that mean it is, I guess it should be relieved, right? There shouldn't be another bolt of lightning.
Neutralized.
Yeah.
The friction keeps happening. So those water droplets and the ice crystals they're still in the cloud.
So the violence of the thunderstorm, the warm air fighting the cold air and the moisture, that keeps happening.
That's why the same storm keeps generating lightning. And so the crazy part, like this, when the leader stroke connects with the positive charge from the Earth and they make the real live lightning bolt, then I read about a quote return stroke.
This is turning into.
I know
you're going to say discharge again, aren't you?
I could,
and that's impressive to go such a short period of time between discharges.
Hey,
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, Jay. And if you say, John, you're getting ahead of ourselves, then just say so. But now, what is heat lightning versus regular lightning?
Yeah. That's a great question.
You're like,
so that
you'll see it in the clouds, but you don't see the spirals and the spiders. You just see it light up like a globe.
Yes. So that is cloud to cloud lightning or internal cloud. Like, so you can have,
it didn't reach outside where you can see it.
Yeah. You can have lightning that will leap from one cloud to another cloud.
Oh,
I think that's pretty rare. I have never seen that.
Lightning that leaps from one cloud to another cloud. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that happens. I did a little lightning research, and I'm glad to tell you about that.
But the heat lightning, which we fairly frequently see on hot summer days, is just a lightning bolt within the cloud.
Yeah.
So the negative charge on one area, half of the cloud, reaches out to the positive charge on the other part of the cloud and just charges within the cloud. So we never see the bolt. There is a bolt inside the cloud. We don't see it because of the fuzz.
I would like to point out that my two-person studio audience did say dry lightning earlier. There you go. Yeah, that was. I just want to give them a little cred. But so here's another question though, Jay, on the lightning.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you get a thunderbolt that connects from the cloud to the earth, the positive, negative.
Yes.
Or sometimes it's just a cloud to sky.
Correct.
With the big splinters and the fingers and everything. You get a big thunderclap. But
sure do.
I don't hear the thunderclap when I see the cloud to cloud.
Well, you do. It just takes a lot longer to get to you because that's really far away. And what's the there's an old adage, right? Of you see the lightning and you count every 2 seconds is a mile to your house, or 1 to 1. I can't remember.
It's 3 seconds.
I believe the old maxim is the speed of light is faster than the speed of sound.
For sure. So you see it and then you wait for it and then you get the thunder later. But we would always get scared because you're counting. You see the lightning, start counting, and boom.
Yeah, every second is 2.2 miles.
Okay,
I believe.
All right.
So, John.
Yes.
So thunder is formed because the lightning is incredibly powerful and hot.
Right.
And so the bolt of lightning generates a ton of heat and light, which we see, but a ton of heat. And so along the bolt, all the air heats up super hot, super fast. And so the expanding air at that speed creates a sonic boom.
That is noise.
So it is. That's exactly. It's like a sonic boom.
Yeah. Just like that. And so obviously we don't hear it at the same time unless it's on top of you, because it's at a distance and the speed of sound is slower than the speed of light.
Yeah,
so
if you've ever been near a bolt of lightning when it strikes, it is a different sound.
It's a different feel if you've been too close.
Yeah.
But I will say this. So like if you hear a sonic boom from a jet, it's impactful. It has a vibe, a feeling. It has an entity, whatever you want to call it. But it's from a jet, and it's generally going to be the same, roughly. But when you hear a sonic boom from a thunderclap, it could be anything from a to a baboon. Like it just because. And I didn't say baboon. I just meant it could be a huge.
They're called
we've all felt them. We've all felt thunderclaps. Like you hear, there's thunder rolling in the distance. Oh, isn't that kind of cool and refreshing?
When the thunder
and then all of a sudden, man, just a huge thunderclap that makes you pee your pants.
Was there a question in there?
So I've got if I can back off of thunder just a little bit and get to where the. I mean, unless we want to sing some Garth Brooks.
No, bring the thunder, Kyle.
Yeah,
bring the thunder.
Thunderdome. We back full circle. So, one thing that I've always heard about is that if you're on the ground and you're about to get struck by lightning, your hair stands up and that the charge starts before it happens, and you're. Like there's a famous photo of a couple standing there.
Standing on an observation tower?
Yeah, just looking all, hey, what's happening? Our hair's standing up. Whee!
Yeah, a giant aluminum observation tower.
And then bang, dead meat.
Yeah, that is the charge on the Earth.
Are you saying that aluminum transmits electricity?
Wait,
I sure am.
Didn't we just cover this?
What happened to our think tank? Where were they on that one?
On aluminum conducting. Oh, it's a very good conductor. It's not as good as copper, but it is a very good conductor of electricity. So that plane, when it gets hit by a bolt, baby, it's lit up.
So one other little factoid I found. I was looking for some kind of extreme examples of things. And a normal big lightning covers about 10 miles, 16 kilometers. That's considered a large, like an occurrence where it's worth noting. But the longest one ever, and I remember this hitting the news just last year. It was in the South. It ranged from Texas through Louisiana to Mississippi. It lasted 17 seconds. And this is at speed of light, and it covered 477 miles.
Wow.
What?
It's a giant storm.
Yeah.
Where lightning is continuous and connected within the strike, covering 477 miles.
So really? Diagonally,
one bolt
from
that far.
Was it cloud to ground lightning?
There's an amazing picture of it. I even have the link. If only I had your password, I could show it to you. But it's pretty fantastic and incredible.
You're not McGillicuttying me right now, are you?
Stick to flying planes, McGillicutty.
Yeah, just shut up and fly, McGillicutty. Kyle has stats, but just one more note from me on the lightning is the other forms of lightning or other places you can see them. Like, has anyone ever seen volcanic lightning?
Oh yeah,
that's
badass.
Where do you see that? I'm guessing like Hawaii.
Oh my God. You should check the internet.
In any erupting volcano, you can frequently see lightning in the eruption.
Yeah.
Like as if the eruption wasn't badass enough.
It looks like an album cover.
Yeah, there's fucking lightning in it. I'm sorry.
There's lightning down in the volcano?
No, I think that's appropriate.
In the plume of ash.
Yeah.
So the ash particles also rub together and create friction.
There's fire from the bottom and fire on the top. It's crazy.
It's crazy. So
metal.
That will, like a cloud, the ash plume will create a charge, and the charge separates to have negative on one part of the cloud and positive on one part of the cloud. Cool. And so the lightning will shoot through the ash plume.
What? That's neat.
So it's
that incredible, just that still quick rise of heat through a cooler atmosphere. And a volcano creates that. That's pretty awesome.
So that's badass. And then there's also stories of lightning being formed within dust storms and snowstorms.
How dare they?
Right?
Yeah.
So I've never seen any of that, but if you've never seen any volcanic,
so we got lightning inside volcanoes.
That's right.
Above.
Yeah, in the ash cloud.
Yeah. And
of an erupting volcano.
In the ash cloud. Okay. And now you're talking about lightning in snowstorms where you go skiing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think that's allowed.
What?
I think Colorado says no. We're skiing.
Oh, they won't allow lightning?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm not an Aspen. They banned lightning in a snowstorm many years ago. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because one thing I discovered is that half of our solar system has lightning as well. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, or Uranus if you want.
I do prefer.
Lightning. And Neptune. They all experience lightning very frequently.
Well, electricity isn't electricity the basis of human or all existence? I mean, we all have electrical charges running through us.
I think it's amino acids, but yeah, I mean,
I thought it was carbon.
I thought it was oxygen.
And we'll be right back. The folks at Abstraction Spirits are more than simply connoisseurs of fine bourbon. They consider the delicate distillation process and the blending of beautiful flavors to be an art form. In fact, so much so that each Abstraction Spirit is inspired by the classic works of some of the world's foremost artists. Sip the unfiltered raw honey and mint notes of their 6-year small batch bourbon, Time Sipping Away. It's distinguished, long-lasting, and perfect for a quiet evening on a beachfront balcony. Or, if rye is your preference, try This Old Cowboy Bourbon. This 9-year rye bourbon sits at 100 proof and offers a rugged, flavorful pop to brighten up any gathering. Abstraction also highlights rye whiskey with Memory of Fire, an 8-year single-barrel endeavor. And the latest from Abstraction Spirits is Backcountry, a 9-year toasted stave light whiskey. So no matter if you're hosting an intimate get-together with your closest friends or a casual patio event with the neighbors, or if you just need a quiet night by the fire, Abstraction Spirits has the flavor and finish you need to make your evening a masterpiece. Abstraction Spirits is available in 35 states nationwide. Visit abstractionspirits.com for more. Abstraction Spirits, art in liquid form. And now more bottom of the barrel.
One thing I found interesting, I had to look up 1.21 gigawatts. And that was the long-term standard. They have since made it a 10 gigawatts as the modern average. But the 1.21 from Dr. Brown.
I'm sorry,
they
made what the standard of 10 gigawatts?
Just as light, the rating and within lightning. Or as far as, maybe it's the average moved up. If that's the case, then, that's another discussion.
Did lightning change its gigawatt output because of the movie? Is that what you're saying?
No, the movie was just, they were just going with the times.
But the Global Lightning Council was like, fellas, we gotta up our gigawatt.
Yeah, somebody said 1.21 ain't cutting it anymore.
Yeah. Like that's Bush League stuff. Like
anybody had a tree or a neighbor's tree struck by lightning? You were there to witness it.
As a matter of fact, it's funny you mention that. No,
it's not. That's not funny at all.
Okay, well, across the street from us, a pine tree was zapped, top rooter to tutor, all the way down, and it coiled. There was a scorch that kind of wrapped around it like a spring sort of shape. And it was literally like 2 days later, all the pine needles were brown, and it was just instantly dead.
Killed it.
Yeah.
When I was very young, there was we went on a family road trip in the family roadster. And
did you eat pickled wieners?
I don't remember. I was very young. So we visited my father's uncle who lived in Nebraska and had a wheat farm. And we stayed with him one night on our trip. And Uncle Daryl, good guy, let me drive the tractor like Superman. So that night there was a massive storm, and outside, like I was looking out at the storm out of my bedroom, and huge bolt of lightning hit a tree about, like it was close, like maybe a quarter mile, half a mile from the house, like super loud, super scary. And it just split it down the middle.
Ooh, yeah.
And so the next morning we went to go look at it, and it was split down the middle, and then the center was like a pyramid of charred wood. And so Uncle Daryl showed me how to cut out a piece of the wood and use a planer to make a baseball bat, which I called Wonder Boy.
Yeah,
and I used that to win the 1938 World Series. Anyway,
Wonder Boy.
So yes, I have seen a tree get struck by lightning.
Side note, and then we can close this down. But
yes, because I have other questions about weather.
Okay, let me just say this. What is the long-term phrase for moonshine?
Long-term?
Well,
Let's drink the moonshine. I don't know.
That out.
The really wordy version?
No. Just back in the day, it was known as white lightning.
Oh, white lightning.
White lightning. Yeah. White lightning.
Yeah. So
not grease lightning.
I do have one final question about lightning. And
it doesn't
not
show
just
up in
white
other
lightning.
colors.
It's actually a legit question about lightning.
Okay.
I believe you.
Jay, in your digging around for
You mean my exhaustive research?
yes, your exhaustive research. Do you know
Your exhausting research.
how many people have been in this country anyway, not worldwide, but how many people in this country have been hit by lightning strikes and survived?
Well, in what time period?
In what time period?
Yeah.
Oh,
Before
yes.
we can go any, before we go any further, let me
delay this
in.
answer as I Google it. I don't
Swayze,
care
let me
whatever time
interject
period
here.
You want?
Okay.
No, that doesn't matter because I know
It does matter.
I know the answer.
I do too. In the last 5 seconds, 0. Thank you.
Perfect.
Go ahead, Kyle.
That's all I wanted to do. In the last 5
okay.
seconds, 0 people have died from lightning. That's brilliant.
That's correct. Yes.
That's
Well, I'm not going
man.
to tell you.
Clouding up.
Jay, I would tell you this: do that every 5 seconds, and you'll really have something.
You will save the
You know,
world.
You'll
You
save the
think
world.
5 seconds is nothing, but it really adds up. Those 5-second increments. Kyle had a real answer for you, by the way.
6.
Since the dawn of man.
6.
I don't think anyone knows.
No, yeah. McGillicutty was pretty convincing.
Yeah.
6.
So anyway, John had a question earlier about the earliest known weather report.
Yes, I did.
pretty sure
Thank you
I
for
saw it
bringing
on
that
a-
back, Jay.
Gary Larson.
Of course, this is what I'm here for.
Well,
I saw that on the Gary Larson.
I have an answer, but
Farside had one.
I want to know what you say.
I want to hear you say it.
I want to hear you get it wrong.
Of course, I know your password. I just want to hear you say it.
So
Then I can use your Wi-Fi.
would you repeat the question in excruciating detail, please?
Yeah. What was
Yes.
first weather report reported from? Where was the first incident of weather reporting
Okay.
happening?
I think we can discern what the question is. Yeah.
It must have been Al Roker's first day on the Today Show in 1983, right?
Yeah.
The answer is going to surprise you.
Well, I'm gonna go Old Testament like some locust shit.
Oh, Kyle, you're going way back to BC.
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
Damn, dude, like Noah.
Yeah, Noah, come on. That's a weather report right there.
First forecast, God said it's going to flood. That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty accurate, but
All right.
that's not what I was looking for.
That's wrong. No, there wasn't a weatherman for the dinosaurs to say it's gonna be raining meteors this weekend.
That's prehistoric, I guess.
This time tomorrow, a meteor will hit our area.
I guess it would have been the Pointer Sisters in 1984
Yeah.
when they forecast it was going to rain men. I think that's right.
That's very close, Jay. You're very close.
I knew it.
The very first broadcast of weather information
Yeah.
was made, and as our listeners now know, we when we do these podcasts, we do them from wherever we are. So
Both of them are way
Jay
ahead
and,
of us.
Jay and Kyle
slow
happen to be
down
in
on the
Houston
quiet
right
part.
now. I'm in Frankfort, Kentucky, and
Yeah.
I am 70 miles from the town of Cincinnati, Ohio, where the very first broadcast
Heard of it? Oh.
of weather reporting came from in the 1870s, I believe.
You sure this wasn't about ping pong balls and chickens and turkeys?
Well, I was kind of drunk when I read the article, but I think it was about weather. I think it was about weather. Cincinnati, Ohio, right up the river from me.
Is this on KP or what is it?
WKRP.
WKRP.
WKRP in Cincinnati with Johnny Fever, Dr. Johnny Fever.
In 1870.
Venus flytrap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But so I got that going for me. That's it. That's all I got.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it.
What was the report?
That's all I had.
What was the weather report?
Was that's where the first story came from. It wasn't even a report about anything.
Man.
I mean, it's like it's going to rain. Going to rain today. They probably looked out and saw clouds. I don't know.
David Letterman was a wacky weatherman.
Yeah.
Which I believe the Steve Martin character was based on in L.A. Story.
That sounds credible. A lot more credible than John's Cincinnati weather broadcast story.
Well, I didn't say there's a weather guy. I just said that was the first story. I don't know. They didn't have, I can remember the day of the weatherman, like literally doing a flip chart where they would draw on a page and then flip it over to show the next page of what they're going to talk about. Like
when I got to
maps
Houston,
and everything on them. And they were using the magic markers. I mean, they're like going, and right here, and you could hear the, it was crazy.
Yeah. I remember the guys with the magnets, and they would drag the magnets across the board, showing you.
And that was that was
moving.
huge. That was huge technology for those days.
Well,
we use magnets. We don't just put on we don't draw on a board. We use magnets.
All I remember was Doppler 8000. Like I must be a lot younger than you fellas. So there's lots to talk about in the field of weather phenomenon. Why is that funny?
I didn't mean to derail us, Jay. I'm sorry.
No. You're keeping us on something.
On something. You bet.
It's not a track exactly, but it's like a rut, maybe.
I see Jay's role. I see Kyle's role. What does John do? Well, he keeps us on something.
On the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the little oddities I was curious about was Aurora Borealis.
Shining down to Dallas. Can you picture that? Boom, boo, boo. Can you Muppets movie?
Yeah.
Anybody? Come on.
No, everybody.
Electric
Aurora
Teeth,
Borealis.
or Dr. Teeth in the Electric Mayhem.
So, has anyone seen an aurora live in person?
No, not. I would love to. And it just recently got pretty far south, but we're in Texas, so that's not going to happen.
It came to mind because there was a recent news story about because of the sun's solar flares, like biggest solar flare in a couple of years. Because of that, the aurora is going to be visible as low as some of the upper.
Yeah, they said like 7 or 9 states would see it. It was basically that top row.
Right. But not in Houston.
No.
So suck it. Suck it, Houstonians.
Yeah. Red Tide.
So I've never seen one. I'm very interested in seeing one. Like I'm contemplating a trip to Iceland so I can be sure to see an aurora.
Yeah, but, before you die, it is one of those things.
It's definitely a bucket list thing.
Where do you? Is that what you see up in Alaska?
Yeah, you can see them in Alaska.
Yes.
So the closer you are to the poles, you can see an aurora. And I learned something recently. The Aurora Borealis is only the one you see in the North Pole.
Oh, there's another down south?
Yes, it's called Aurora Australis.
Oh, is it also green?
Sometimes. So
you may wait at the South Pole?
Yes. So auroras occur at both poles because
no one sees the south one because no one's there.
Quick question for you.
Yes.
Where in Canada can you see the Aurora Borealis?
I'm sure that depends on, just where the aurora is.
This weekend, apparently most everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
okay. So this is my question actually. So if you take
your real
that,
question?
if you take that latitude and go around the planet, can you see the Aurora Borealis from anywhere on that latitude, do you think? Or is it only coming over?
I would assume that
is it only coming over Canada
Norway
at this point?
and Sweden and stuff see it.
Could you see it then too?
No, I think that's absolutely right, John. Like if you're you're
saying, Iceland and
so Iceland is at the same latitude the central Norway, central Sweden, central Finland.
But you're seeing the
Canada,
same.
Greenland.
You're seeing it.
Finland.
And then
I'm trying to
Russia,
get to the point. Like in Gamma 2, when the thing comes
Attack
from
of
the
Legion.
Earth and expands out. Are you seeing it Are you seeing the Aurora Borealis anywhere from that sort of latitude?
Yeah, in northern Japan for sure.
It's occurring in the atmosphere at the poles. So yes, if you're in Canada or Greenland or Iceland or Sweden or Russia
or Sapporo, Japan, where Gamma crashes to Earth.
Guys, I will tell you this: we need to make a trip to do our podcast from the Aurora Borealis.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something. Whoa. I don't know when it'll happen, but we need to do it.
Hotel rates in the Aurora Borealis.
Is Richard Branson a personal friend?
Well, yes, actually, but here's the thing: because I have a DWI, as you know, not proud of it. Canada will not be an option. We'll have to go to Iceland or
no.
Russia.
But those rules don't apply.
Maybe
in
North
the
Korea
Aurora itself.
No.
You can get a visa to the Aurora Borealis. That's no problem.
Oh,
they encourage it.
Oh yeah. Okay. I mean,
but yeah, it's.
Do we have any? Can I ask why green? What creates the green color? Green yellowy thing.
It's yes. So it depends. So the Borealises or boreali are caused by particles and energy from the solar flare. When they hit the Earth's magnetic field, they interact and basically create the light show. So this is like, again, friction of particles colliding. And so they occur on certain of the color spectra. And so I was told that they'll either be mostly red and green or blue and purple. Depending on the nature of the
McGillicutty.
So yeah, all the ones you see pictures of are green.
Yeah, I usually see green. It's probably just the most visible on against the black
on the spectrum.
Yeah, sky.
I think that's probably right. And then I've never seen a picture of an Aurora Australis.
And that's not an Australia thing, or is that why Australia is named?
That's in Antarctica. He covered that a minute ago.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Yeah, very good, John. So yes, they're the Northern Lights and the Southern Lights. Northern Lights are Aurora Borealis. Southern Lights are Aurora Australis. And I presume it's not named for Australia, but Australia is named for
whatever that is.
Root word that means Southern Hemisphere.
Latin thingy.
Clearly.
Because if the opposite is the case, then there's some country called Borealia that I've never heard of, and I want to go visit.
Yeah, because Aurora Australia.
Well, I'd like to meet Aurora for one thing.
Oh, yes. I third that motion.
It's business time.
So anyway, one time at band camp, I went on an Alaskan cruise, and it was incredible. If you've never been on an Alaskan cruise, do that. Okay, we'll do an episode of the podcast from an Alaskan cruise and see the aurora.
I hear whales have bad breath.
That maybe. Anyway, you can. There's beautiful country up there, incredible country. You can see little icebergs. You can see fjords. Like it's crazy town.
Little icebergs.
Yeah. Because you go in August. Like you don't want to cruise Alaska in January, obviously.
No.
So you go in the hottest.
Far, I guess.
You go in the hottest month of the year. Okay. But in Alaska, it's like the weather is 60 degrees every day and 40 at night or whatever. So as you get further up north in the cruise and you go into the fjords, you see like literally tiny icebergs that are not a threat to the ship. They're 10 10 feet in diameter. Or
So
something
Captain's like, hit the sucker.
Yeah. But you're seeing an iceberg, and it's just like, whoa, well, that's what that looks like. There are little ice flows or whatever, but they're cool to see in the deep blue water. So tons of amazing things to see, including whales on an Alaskan cruise. But during the cruise, the captain made an announcement. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, blah, blah, blah. Enjoy your evening shuffleboard and bingo and our amazing Broadway review. Later tonight, we've heard reports that the aurora might be visible on our aft deck. So check that out. Mm-hmm. And so, but it was going to be super late, like midnight or later. So I was there with
you pussy.
I was on the cruise with my young family, and so it wasn't a thing where everyone gathers on the aft deck to have a look.
Your family pussies.
Anyway, I excused myself from the cabin to go check it out. And I was like, I will go hang out on the deck by myself, and if I see this thing, I will come wake up everyone. But otherwise, no need to disturb you guys. So I hung out on the deck in a stupid lounger.
So noble of you, Jay.
I guess.
To go drink on the deck in the middle of the night.
Away from my family. It was...
Took one for the team.
It was the greatest challenge of my life. So I was willing to do it because it's an aurora borealis. Like no one's ever seen it. And it's apparently amazing. So I'm hanging out there on the deck waiting. There's virtually no one else. Waiting. And after like 45 minutes, it was pretty clear that Captain McGillicutty had lied to us.
Son of a bitch!
So I was apparently this close to seeing one. I missed it because of the lying captain. So I've still got to see one. And the other note on auroras that I will offer is that other planets get them too. There is
like the lightning.
Like the lightning. Although I don't think we've seen any visual evidence of lightning on other planets, but there is visual evidence of other auroras.
How dare you?
So
I thought we've seen. Wait, hang on. Now back that up. I thought we've seen.
Here we go. Here we go.
You do realize I got your password and now I can back shit up, right?
I'm just saying. I thought they've proved like there's storms on Jupiter and Mars and
yeah. We have no idea what those storms are. Like we can just tell there's lots of atmospheric turbulence, but like it's maybe methane rain or God knows what that is. So there's storms, but like nothing we understand. So there may be lightning, but we've never seen pictures of lightning on Jupiter. But we have seen pictures of an aurora on Jupiter, and apparently it's gorgeous. Just beautiful.
I've
do you think that people on
Googled
Jupiter
very simply lightning on other planets images, and there are lots.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, are they credible? Does it look?
Oh, this one. Wait. This one is by McGillicutty.
Yeah. Artist impression.
Yeah. No, this even on Juno, there's like moons that have lightning.
I never said there wasn't.
Well, there is.
I think the big thing is, do the people on Jupiter look at us and go, "That's a pretty aurora borealis"?
I bet they do.
I would think so.
And I don't know what the auroras are called on other planets.
Right.
I don't know if they're a borealis in Australia, because they don't have an Australia on Neptune.
Yeah, they have a whole other language. They could have said like,
yeah.
I think that's spot on.
It could have been.
Yeah. Not could have been. I think that's exactly what they say.
Well, and I meant it. So, tell us about clouds, Jay. Tell us about clouds.
Oh, is this my job?
Yeah.
Wait, is that today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
John.
So that's not. Sorry.
Oh my God. We have fun.
It's not clouds.
So we talked a little about clouds earlier when we were discussing lightning.
Right.
And the cumulonimbus, and cirrus clouds.
Yeah.
But there's other sorts of crazy clouds that I've only seen pictures of, to be candid. Mm-hmm. But there's a sweet kind of cloud called asperitas clouds.
All right, can you...
Could you spell that, please?
Which?
Yes, I'll spell it. It's kind of like Aspen, Colorado, except there's a Ritas at the end, like margaritas.
Ooh.
Like asperitas.
I drink margaritas in Aspen.
I'm hearing a lot of like explanation, but not the actual spelling.
Oh, God. Why?
See, do you have Jay's password? Can you look this up?
Well, just so you know, this is actually a point where we should point out we have lost our studio audience here in the.
No, they were doing so well.
Yeah, the crack team.
The good news is they left all the whiskey in my room. So,
hey, for you,
So
hundreds of miles away.
Yeah. So they're still okay in my book.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that they bagged out on us, but they left a parting gift. That's nice.
True. Yeah, that's classy.
What a thoughtful studio audience. So, asperitas, John, is spelled Asperritas.
Gross.
There you go.
Sorry. Anyway, asperitas clouds look like upside down waves, like on an ocean, except gray.
Oh, yeah. I've seen those. That's what I wanted to see a picture to, because, yes, I've seen pictures of those, but never actually seen them.
Yeah. Well, now, since like
here, a bubbling cauldron. And
upside down bubbling cauldron. Yeah. Isn't it magical?
No, so what the hell causes that? Is that what you looked up?
Oh, I don't know.
No, John's turn.
That's all I got.
John. Oh, no, John's asleep.
That was thunder, by the way.
That was really good. Wow.
Wow.
I felt like I was right there with you. That's incredible.
I clinched a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
There's another one called a lenticular cloud.
Okay, I've heard that name. Which one's that?
What?
It's a cloud that sort of, it's all on its own, hangs in midair. Mm-hmm. It's sort of globular, like almost spherical, just sort of hanging in midair. Mm-hmm, and the one I saw was hit by the sunset.
Oh,
so it was lit up red and orange, looked like an eyeball. Incredible.
Oh.
And then there's iridescent clouds, which is as you would imagine.
There's just this week, which won't make sense to our viewers once they hear this, but there was an amazing one where someone was able to zoom in and get in there where the rainbow is happening in the cloud.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So the cloud is basically rainbow colored, all the colors of the rainbow, and they apparently are sometimes attached to the lenticular clouds. Like these ones go hand in hand. So if you're in the part of the world where you get lenticular and iridescent clouds, well, good for you, I guess.
Yeah, I want to see one.
And that's where we'll do our next podcast episode after the Alaskan cruise episode.
And then we had another one before that. I think we were going to northern Japan. There was another one.
If John's allowed, yeah.
Oh, he
can go to Japan all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
John gives a thumbs up.
There's my contribution. Yeah.
Thank you. That was amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As you can guess by all this talk of high altitudes, we are nowhere near the bottom yet, but we'll get there. Join us next week for the exciting conclusion, and now the weather, part 2. If you'd like to learn more about this finely distilled product, visit bottomofthebarrelpodcast.com, where you can find our previous episodes, merch, and even some Patreon options. If you want to tell us how smart we are, or how stupid we are, or if you have a topic you want us to dive into, hit us up on our socials. Bottom of the Barrel Podcast is on Instagram, X, and YouTube. Research, writing, and hosting duties for Bottom of the Barrel are taken up by John Swayze, Kyle Jones, and Jay Hickman. Our producer and sound engineer is Dave Lasco. Our business and digital manager is Olivia Swayze, and our composer-arranger is Jonathan Benjamin. We also offer our sincere appreciation to our collaborators, without whom we'd merely be floating somewhere around the middle of the barrel. Big thanks to Afshar Karat, Keegan Dalio, and Patrick Marrero. Finally, we'd once again like to thank our sponsor, Abstraction Spirits, art in liquid form, which you can find at abstractionspirits.com. We'll see you next time.